Hey friend, welcome to the Halfway to Dead podcast. I'm your host, Jen Lovell. Listen, you and I have reached that age where we are done with the bullshit. We know that midlife is our chance to flip the script and experience life on our own terms. It's time to reconnect with our higher selves and reclaim our inner peace. Are you ready with an open heart and an open mind? Awesome, you're in the right place. Hop in and ride shotgun with me on this midlife spiritual journey. Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 with Kim Rogers. If you haven't listened to part 1, go back and do that. All right, so here's part 2. We really dive in on this parasite thing, right? All things parasite cleanse. How do we get these damn parasites in here? How do we get rid of them logistically? All the things. How will we feel if we have them? How will we feel when we're better? All things parasites. Okay, let's jump back in and keep going with this Kim Rogers because she's an amazing guest, you guys. You got to listen to this and you got to follow her. This is important stuff. There's a movement, a revolution going on, and you need to be a part of it. All right, let's get in there. All right, well, let's, you guys, I know you're all wondering about this parasite thing, so let's just dive in a little bit. Let's start from here, just so we're all aware. Parasite. I just read parasite in Greek means uninvited dinner guest. You guys.
Yeah. Gross,
so this
right?
Super
they
gross.
Eat off a host. A parasite is anything that eats off a host. So there's different breakdowns. There's parasites, which is protozoas. There's cryptosporidium parvium, which is what I had, which was shutting down my organs. My husband had D. fragilis, and then there's giardia. Those are all water-based type of parasites. Okay. You can catch them in other ways too, but that's the most common ways to catch a protozoa. Then there's a parasite called nematode. Nematode are the physical worms. So you've got parasites in worms. You also have things like lice and scabies. Those are parasites because they eat off the host. They steal the host's nutrients. That's why they're an uninvited dinner guest.
Yeah, they are. Oh my God.
But energetically, they can steal from us too. They can control your thoughts. Like toxoplasmosis controls your thoughts. It can actually make you do things like be promiscuous and have no fear.
Yeah, they're living up in the brain, right? Oh my God. All right, so let's just start this off here. So, because I know some of my people listening are thinking, do I can turn the episode off now. I don't have parasites. What is she talking about? That's not me. And you think, I don't have them. Like my doctor would know. I eat healthy. No. Every excuse you guys are thinking right now is wrong, right, Kim?
Right.
It's wrong.
100% wrong.
I was this person too. I was like, oh God, I don't have freaking parasites. Like, and nope, I did. And we're going to talk about that. But tell me this, doesn't matter what you're eating, because people are like, well, I eat all organic. So that's where they live.
Right. My best friend is like the most healthiest person I know. For 13 years, she has never let canola oil touch her lips. And she has so many parasites. She blew out 100 out of her nose her first time cleansing. We talk about it on our podcast. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. They're in our fish. They're on our produce. They're in our meat. If you're eating raw produce or raw fish like sushi, they say that you can have 10,000 eggs in 1 square inch of salmon. And if you watch and go down the wormhole of my account, you'll see that salmon is a huge contributor, but all fish like halibut and cod, bottom feeder fish, are eating literally the bottom of the ocean. And so they're in our water. And if you watch my videos and you see like a bear have a ginormous tapeworm out of his butt, he's eating better fish than we are. And he still is getting a parasite.
Straight out of the damn river.
Totally.
And they're still getting parasites. So that doesn't matter. It's in our food. It's in our water. Doesn't matter what kind of, what's the safe water to drink?
Like, I have reverse osmosis is what we were drinking, but I was still brushing my teeth, showering, putting my retainer in the water that was contaminated. I wasn't drinking the water.
We forget.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't, you can drink bottled water, but if you're showering, it's covering our body. It's like we're absorbing it through our skin.
You open up your mouth. right?
Yeah,
Like you're showering and you open your mouth. These are crevices, your eyes, your ears, your nose. I
like
washed my
everywhere.
hands and put my contacts in. I had a worm in my eye for a while, for years
No,
actually.
that's a thing. My daughter's an optometrist, and people definitely, her big thing is do not use water with your contacts.
Totally.
Like,
Why?
no, no way, Jose. Because there's contaminants in there. There's all kinds of stuff in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. And we forget about that stuff. Even brushing my teeth. I'll brush my teeth and just use the sink water because I'm like, well, I'm not drinking it. Well, it's in my mouth. Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. And so we forget all of the places that we're getting these worms in. But the good news is we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
You
We can
can get rid
continue
of
to
them, you
keep
guys.
cleansing.
And
Mhm.
so that's kind of how we get them. How do we know? Well, we just told you guys you have them, so you know you have them. But what are some of the big symptoms that maybe go along with it?
Grinding your teeth at night, drooling at night, breakouts, IBS, salt or sugar cravings, which I didn't know salt
Mm.
cravings was a thing. I'm stuck on this one because I crave salt all the time, and now I know that that is like that's what my parasites crave. When I had really bad parasites or when I need to cleanse, I do that.
Yeah, the
Um,
sugar makes sense because
mhm,
I'm needing to work. That's one of the main reasons I did this cleanse too. I got to get rid of the sugar cravings. I've become
yeah.
type 2 diabetic. I got to reverse all
Oh,
this. And I'm thinking, okay, well, it's not my fault. It's all those damn parasites like the sugar. Let's get rid of
right.
them. And maybe I won't crave it as much. Okay, so the sugar and what else?
Well, candida is a yeast overgrowth, which is probably what's going on. That's really the
Mhm.
one that craves the most, but it's a parasite because it eats off the host.
Right.
It's so
Okay,
gross.
same thing. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right.
Insomnia. Insomnia is a
Mhm.
big one because they're nocturnal creatures, so they get up around 7 p.m. and then they keep you up and then you sleep
Mhm.
all day because they sleep all day. So they really do alter your whole state. And I was always insomnia. Like I had insomnia since I was a child.
Those are some of the symptoms. So basically anything. If
Mhm,
you're feeling like crap, it
mhm.
could be it's
Right.
probably some parasites, at least partially. All right, even if it
Mhm.
doesn't fix the whole problem. This is definitely an awesome place to start. And then tell me this. We can get them from anywhere. I'm trying to think here. All right, we can get
Barefoot
them from anywhere.
pets. Pets is a big
Oh,
one. I
let's talk
literally just got
pets.
off a podcast with a gal, and her dog have the same parasite. And so she said when she's around her dog and her dog itches, she itches. I'm like, well, yeah, because everyone in your house shares your microbiome. And if they have worms, you have worms, especially pinworms.
Yeah.
Pinworms are
Oh.
like lice of the butt. So you
Mhm.
definitely, if you have them, everyone has them, but yours might not. Yours may have symptoms and theirs may not.
So tell me about this animal thing, because I love the
Mhm.
animals. I got me some animals. So even if we're giving our animals their little monthly flea tick, heartworm, our little monthly
That's
stuff,
just heartworm.
that's heartworm. And then the
That's
other's
it.
just like flea and tick. So we're not
Right.
really covering the rest of these
No.
parasites anyway.
You're not
No,
deworming your dog. You're
no.
keeping them from getting like a threadworm, which is heartworm. I mean, they're all in the same family, parasite, but you're not removing parasites from them. You have to deworm them with like Safeguard, which most pets get fenbendazole. That's the animal dewormer. I don't recommend Ivor at all. I actually am not a big fan of it.
Okay.
Everyone, it seems to be a big thing right now that's going on. It's just not great for humans on a basis
Okay.
of not knowing what's wrong with your parasites. But with animals, especially, they need to be dewormed monthly. You need to go in
Well,
because they're eating poop, they're eating, they're licking their butt,
okay,
they're
what do we
drinking
get?
out of
What do we get
puddles.
to do that? What do we need to add in monthly for our dogs?
Safeguard. I
Yeah.
really like
Safeguard.
fenbendazole. You can get it on Amazon. It's like just a powder you put in their food. You can go get it on Amazon, Safeguard. I also in my fast track guide, which all of the stuff I do is free. You can download. Mhm. Yeah. If you scroll down to the bottom of the fast track guide, it has a pet protocol and it's by Dr. Huda Clark. And she talks about how parsley water. So you can give that to your dog every day or
Parsley
your cat.
water.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Because they're bringing these in, they're
Mhm.
getting it through their feet running around outside, through the dirt,
Mhm.
I mean, just it's all over,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
same with cats. Even if we have indoor only cats, there's still bugs, there's still stuff getting into your house. They're eating them, they're messing around. It's still a thing. And
Yeah.
then how do they transfer those to us?
Microscopically laying in bed, I've heard I've heard that if you let your dog sleep with you, that it just goes, over
Oh
to you.
god. Oh, Kim. Oh, Kim, my dog
I know.
snuggles right in.
And
It's
and, I don't think people realize how airborne stuff is too. Like, um, I didn't know a whole lot about SIBO until, like, this last 6 or 7 months. My mom has
okay.
SIBO, and I, like, clicked. It, like, clicked in my mind, so stay with me. So, things like bacteria are in our breath, right? And in order to find out if you have SIBO, you have to breathe into this thing, this big bag. You breathe
Okay.
into it throughout the day and it catches the bacteria. Okay, well, think about it. Like she's breathing. I'm standing next to her and she's breathing. What do you think's happening? There's so
You
micro.
all have it.
Yes, we all have the same microbes in our body. We all have the same in the
Of
household.
course you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
So,
Alright. So if we're so on that note, if we're cleansing, if everybody in our house isn't doing it, we're screwed. It's coming right back, isn't it?
Not necessarily. It just depends on like what level your body is at for illness or how they can process. So like I had crypto, my husband didn't. He had defragiles and so he never caught crypto. I never caught defragiles, but they're all a parasite.
Yeah.
So it isn't always yes for sure, but like if you're cleansing, everyone should cleanse. If not everyone wants to cleanse, at least protect yourself from potentially not getting what they have.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so the animals, we got to deworm them, just like
Yeah.
we got to deworm ourselves, apparently. So we
Yeah.
got to deworm the animals, guys, because I'm going to be honest. I have cats. I have a dog. I'm not kicking them out of my bed anytime soon.
Same. I wasn't either.
So I guess we just all need to get treated together because yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not kicking them out, but
Right.
also, and I actually, this could be something because my dog actually has IBS, like most sensitive little, he's on like prescription food and everything. All right. No, we got to
Mm,
clear this up. I got to get some, parsley
he
water.
doesn't have IBS. He doesn't have IBS. He has a
Okay.
parasite. And the thing about it is that lab techs for vet, they really do know how to look. Human lab techs do not. So when we give the statistics of 60 million people per the CDC in the United States has a parasite, that's 60
Mhm.
million documented that was caught by the lab. I used LabCorp as well as my own independent lab, parasites.org, and I used the
Mhm.
same stool, and LabCorp came back negative and parasites.org came back positive. So I'm not documented. My number in that 60, I'm not a number in that 60 million. So if that's the
No.
way it is for me, then how many
Oh,
other
that number is
people?
way too low.
Exactly. Exactly.
And
And
so, because
mhm,
I bring my dog's feces in,
yeah,
that yearly exam, and they're like, "You're all good." But
right.
that's just
In
for
that
what
moment, they're all good.
in that
See, that's the
moment.
thing, they're stealthy. Like, they
Mm,
know.
mhm.
They in that moment that he got tested, maybe they weren't in a cycle, and maybe it was just that specific stool in that moment that didn't have any. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean he was negative, it just means that particular day, that particular moment of poop, how many times a day do you guys go poop? How many times do the dogs go poop?
Mhm, mhm.
In that specific sample, there was no parasites.
Yeah.
But in a sample tomorrow, it could have had a cycle and then there was actual positive, but you wouldn't know that. So just being proactive. And that's the
Mhm.
problem we're all in. We're so reactive, but we can be proactive by just assuming we all have them. Your dogs has them, you have them. Why not 3 to 4 times a year minimum do
Yeah,
a
so we don't need to
cleanse?
spend a bunch of money
No.
testing all the time.
Right.
Just assume we have them, assume our pets
Mhm.
have them. These are natural herbal treatments, you guys. So it's not like you're, going on some prescription drugs to several times a year. So we might as well just assume we have them
Yep.
and like get rid of them for us and our pets.
Yeah.
Okay.
My I mean, instead of
Yeah.
us being so, like, fearful and
Mhm.
fear-mongering and getting into the big pharma machine, why not just go in and try and cleanse your gut and see? Because it's not just your gut. We say it's a gut cleanse, but they're in our blood, our tissue, and our muscle, and if you think about when you're eating meat, you're eating that animal's blood, tissue, or muscle, right? You're eating
Yes.
So if it's in theirs and we get it from them, it's in ours. We have the same anatomy, right? We have
Right.
the same process of our bodies. So you have to like just assume that we're all been exposed to them. And even if you're vegan
Mhm.
or vegetarian, I'm telling you, I actually have seen more vegan and vegetarians have parasites than carnivores.
Well, because they're attached to all of the fruits and veggies too. I
Right.
mean, yeah.
And I don't eat any raw produce when I go out because you don't know where or what or how they prepared the raw produce.
What do
And
you eat
so
when you go out, Kim? What do we eat? If we're what's the safest stuff at that darn if
cook
we're going to the restaurant, what do we eat?
just steamed and cooked. Nothing can be raw.
Okay, so let's just make sure everything's cooked, especially we don't know how
Mhm.
stuff's being handled.
Right.
No, just make sure it's fully cooked.
Mhm.
Okay.
Fully cooked.
Okay. And if we're going to still indulge in the sushi, the oysters, the this, that, and the other, we just have to make sure we're doing our parasite cleanses,
Mhm.
right? To
Yeah.
get rid of the darn things. Okay. So when you were formulating, because your first parasite cleanse was not your own, obviously,
No,
right?
it was
No,
rough.
you did someone else's. Then you decided, hey, I'm going to come up with a better one. I'm going to come up with a great one for everybody.
Yeah.
So what did that process look like? Did you know what I mean? Like, how did
Yeah.
you figure this damn thing out? I mean, obviously you're very smart. You've dove in, you did the research, you knew what things killed what. But was this final supplement stack that you ended up using here? How many changes did you go through to get to this one? Like,
None.
were you initially no, you knew this worked from the
This is
start.
it. This is the same formula we started with. We've never changed anything.
Okay. And when you started it, you just knew that all of these different supplements, all these different herbs would blend to do, I don't know, like what, wormwood?
Mhm.
There's a bunch that kill specific parasites, right? So you
Right.
have them combined
Yes.
into one. Okay. So let's talk about this parasite cleanse. You guys, it's called Parafy. Everything's going to be in the show notes and the links. Don't even worry about it. But okay. And I was telling her, we talked earlier, there's fake people popping up. So don't
Mhm.
get scammed, you guys, because no, just use the link I'm putting in there because there's a lot of scam going on out there. Because I have had people actually ask me this when I try and educate them on the parasite cleanse and I send them the link. They're like, well, how do you know there's nothing in there that gave you the worms? So
'Cause we're third party tested.
there you go. They're third party tested, you guys.
Yep.
And I also tell people this because, and so my nephew, who was big into this before I was and did this whole Purify cleanse way before me and was telling me about it. And I would ask him, I'd be like, but how do you know it's working? Like, how do you know? How do you know? And he said, well, I could send you pictures, but I won't. That's what I mean. Do you get
Mhm.
tested before? Do the cleanse get tested after? No, that won't work
Right.
because the doctors are missing this. Why are the
Mhm.
doctors missing this? Because when they go in, even if you just got a colonoscopy, these worms see that light coming. They're running for the hills. I mean, unless you're so overgrown that it's like
Well, they're going
insane.
into your colon. They're in our blood, our tissue, and our muscles. So they're putting a scope up your butt, not
Right.
in your blood. So they're looking for specific like polyps and they're not really looking for
You have to have a
movement.
pretty big worm to coming at you. Yeah.
Yeah, like little pinworms. Literally, I have a
Yeah.
video. I'll post it today because
Oh,
gives
I've
me an
seen
idea
it.
of what to do. But they're literally like moving inside. But if they're in your tissue, they're not in your, they're literally looking at a long muscle. Your colon is a long muscle and it's smooth.
Right.
They want to make sure it's a smooth muscle. That's all they're looking for. They're not going, oh, I'm going to look for some
No.
pinworms,
So
roundworm,
bottom line, you guys,
tapeworm.
they're all hiding. They're hiding
They're
anyway. The minute
hiding.
that light
Mhm.
comes in and they know
Well,
someone's
and
looking for them.
you've just sat and you've done a colonoscopy prep. So I've had multiple colonoscopies. I did a
Mhm.
you do a prep. There's nothing left.
No,
So
you're
you
cleaning out. They're
starve
going and
them.
hiding. They're all over.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally, yeah.
Yeah. But
So
they're not gone. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Okay.
you'll know when you start to deworm. You'll know when you use Parafy. And Parafy is not just for worms; it's for heavy metals, candida, parasites, worms.
Yes, we talk
So
about this because Purify, FYI, everybody, I am in my last week of it. It's a 30-day gig, and I'm heading towards the end here. So I got some things to say, but listen, here's what it is. I'll be honest with you guys. There are 3 tinctures, and they come in
Mhm.
these glass bottles and droppers, and it's so many drops. And yes, this is a commitment. You got to do this 3-4 times a day. All right, it's a commitment. I'm not going to lie, and I don't love the taste. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
honest. Do I love the tincture taste? No. Have I had worse? Yeah. But I put just a little bit in a little tiny bit of flavored water. Just a
Mhm.
little, okay, just to get her down. And I just throw it back like a shot. Just boom, I get it down. And then there's something at the very end. Then there's also capsules that you take at
Mhm.
bedtime. Tell me about those because those are important, right?
Yeah, it's called Cinnabon,
Okay, Cinnabon. I know
and
I
that's
thought I
our
was gonna
binder.
open it and they were gonna be little, like, Altoid mints because it said Cinna, and I was like, "Oh, no, these are just tabs." Okay.
You're like, "They're just pills, boo."
Pills.
So,
Yeah.
so basically it's 3 tinctures and a binder. The
Mhm.
3 tinctures, Parify is a parasite cleanse, Sustain is your candida and bad bacteria cleanse, and Metal Flush is your heavy metal detox because they hold on to heavy metals. I also put in herbs that help support your liver because you need to make sure you're supporting your organs while you're detoxing. They
Yeah.
need that extra oomph in order for them to operate while you're pulling crap out of your body.
Yep.
And then the
Yeah.
binder is really important because they're releasing eggs and toxins and you have to bind it. So charcoal, which I use coconut activated charcoal, is a negative charged herb and it's positive charge like a magnet for toxins. So it's basically the binder is a magnet. And while they're leaving, you have made your body inhospitable and they'll drop eggs. So you need to bind all of this and you need herbs that will also go in and wipe out things like eggs, which is black walnut hull. And I created it all because I literally had every single ailment that you could possibly have because I'd never done this. There's no guide anywhere. There was no one directing me. I didn't know what
Right.
a binder was. I didn't know that multiple different types of parasites can then feed off of each other, creating more of a storm in your body. So we're like a Z pack. We're all of the herbs that you could possibly go in and attack these things that are the safest. And
Yeah.
Oregon grapefruit is kind of a secret weapon. And
Mm.
also, people don't know that you have to break the biofilm. These might be words that a lot of people haven't heard, especially when I was doing this. I had never heard of all of these things. They encase themselves in a hard mucus shell called a biofilm.
Mm.
And it's hard to break them out of that unless you have an herb that will break it. And we use the herb called lungwort lichen, and it grows on the trees with usnea. Our herbs are foraged and they're what our ancestors used to assist their bodies while they were doing parasite cleansing because they knew about this. So usnea goes in and is Mother Nature's doxycycline. So it helps boost your immune system, removing bacteria and viruses, and also going in with lungwort lichen, breaking down the biofilm. And then they work together harmoniously in order for you to be able to remove what's being dropped from physical worms
Mm.
as well as a
Yeah.
parasite.
Yeah, so we need and I like the idea of doing it all. Now you can buy
Mhm.
just a Parify bottle, but you guys should just get the whole kit because like she said, if I'm gonna have to remember something 2 or 3 times a day, I wanna kick all this stuff
Right.
out together,
At the
right? I
same
don't do that, but
time,
just do it all at the same time.
oh my gosh,
Just do it all at the same
it's
time.
so overwhelming. So what
Mm,
kind of made me
yes.
start this wasn't just because there's a few reasons. One of them was there's no instructions anywhere and I was piecemealing stuff together and it was costing a fortune and I was going viral at the time on TikTok. And so I could not afford myself. I mean, I was very poor. We had given everything up
Mhm.
and I couldn't afford 250. And by the time it was all said and done between Oregon grapefruit, candida, parasites,
Mhm.
a binder, I you were in at 250. Why am I going to sit and talk about something that no one can even afford? And then
Right.
I went in and I tried to find out what the natural ingredients were of some of the tinctures I was using and why they were using caramel coloring and they wouldn't tell me. Well, I'm trying to rid my body of things I don't know what I'm putting in it. And you're
Yeah.
not going to tell me what your natural ingredients are and how you make this product for me to then share it with millions. That's not acceptable to me because I'm on a journey of transparency and I want to know what's going in my body. That's the whole
Right.
purpose of why we're trying to avoid the big P cult, right? We want to
Yep.
know what's really happening to us. And so they wouldn't do that. And so I was like, that's fine. You can not tell me, but I'm not going to talk
Come on.
about your product anymore. I'm going to make my own company. And that's what I did.
That's what you did. Yeah, you did. Where'd you call it? Roger's Hood.
Yeah, it's Roger's Hood. Welcome to my hood.
Yeah. Like Roger in the Hood.
Yep, you're in the hood. Well, so I did a spinoff of I did a spinoff of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because my last name is Rogers, and then I lived in Hoodsport, and we would call our neighborhood the Hood, and with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, you gotta find the helpers, and so I did a spinoff, Mrs. Rogers' Hood.
Mrs. Rogers said, I like it. Yeah. No, it's good. Okay, so you got to get the whole kit, you guys. And so I've been
Mhm.
taking it. I'll just tell you this. It doesn't taste great. You're going to need to make a commitment when you do it. Is there some prep we need to do before we start it?
Yeah, making sure you're doing the 3 Ps, peeing, pooping, and perspiring. And I do have a fast track guide that's free. It's an ebook in my profiles that you can download for free that kind of walks you through how to open up your drainage pathways to
Yeah,
make
because you
sure that
talk
you're
about
peeing.
opening up all your pathways because
Mhm.
these toxins have to have somewhere to go.
Right.
And if we're closed off, yeah,
Mhm.
that's not going to work as well. Okay, so we got to be pooping, peeing, and perspiring to get
Right.
this stuff out of our system. Okay, and then she has guides to all this, so you'll be able to download and see it. But also food. On the
Yeah.
cleanse, do we have to alter what we're doing? I think we're supposed to. I think I have not altered as much as I
Okay.
maybe should have, but I'm going to just tell you it's still working. But in
Mhm.
general, for the best success, we want to cut down on things that are known to have a lot of worms for sure, right?
Yeah.
While we're doing it. I mean, that's the whole point. We don't want to be introducing new young bloods when we're trying to get rid of
Right,
all the
totally.
oldies in there. No, we do. They're harder to fight. Maybe I don't know. I made that up, but
No, it's
so
true.
is it true? Okay,
Mhm.
all right. So we want to stay away from obviously the raw foods. Pork is kind of a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, pork is huge because it's just full of parasites. Yeah, and, people don't cook it right. Well, RFK Jr. has neurocystosarcoma, which is a parasite of the brain, a tapeworm from undercooked
Mhm,
pork, and the physical part of the worm is still in his brain, and it ate some of his brain, but it's unalived. The physical part of the
mhm,
tapeworm is still in there,
mhm,
causing him to have issues once in a while, but it's not alive anymore that we know of. But yeah, he came out publicly and talked about that. You want to just do your best for food. You want to just make sure you're not
mhm.
eating carbs and sugar. I also did not follow the diet really well at the beginning of all of this because your taste buds will start to change. You'll look and want food differently
Mhm.
when you come out of this because they're in our mouth, which is a tissue, and they're telling us what to eat. So just do your best. That's what I always say. The herbs are going in whether you are eating the diet or not. And we do have a free 125-page cookbook as well that you can download that gives you different ideas because food is the hardest part of this.
So these parasites, they're smart. Are they on the moon
Mhm.
cycle?
Some of them.
So if we're doing a 30-day cleanse, we're going to probably
Mhm.
cover their most active time anyway. But
Right.
just so everyone knows that they get active what, like right around the time of the full moon?
Yeah, so they usually get active 3 days prior to the full moon, they start to dislodge themselves, and so that's when you should start a parasite cleanse. If you don't, it's
Okay.
no big deal, just start when you start, but then, at some point, try and do one over the full moon, and then they start to actually flow freely in your body because serotonin runs higher in your body during the full moon, and so they
Okay.
just hop on the serotonin highway and start to re-navigate throughout your body, creating new communities.
Oh, fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they travel. They find a new home
Yeah,
sometimes with that full moon.
totally.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. But it doesn't matter because these tinctures
Okay,
cover the
great.
whole damn body, right?
Yeah,
I
they can
mean,
cover they
we'll
can go
find them.
everywhere. Yeah. That's why when you do a colonoscopy, they're just going into your bum. Like, they're everywhere. You
Yeah, they're
have
just out of there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because they're in all of our tissue, like you
Mhm.
said, and this is uncomfortable to think about, but they go up into our brain.
Yeah, they
I
can.
okay, I read this, little thing lately. I didn't realize that the term "crazy cat lady."
Oh, yeah, 'cause of toxoplasmosis. I love talking about toxoplasmosis because it's
Listen, crazy cat
so
lady, because it was
wild.
typically
Mhm.
found in women who were like, had a lot of cats, blah, 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 but it would infect into their brains,
It
and
still
they
does.
would
It's not just
people
ladies.
well, everybody, but they would think like, it would make you crazy. People would think
Yeah,
they just had
'cause it
mental disorders because they
well, it
kinda do.
It does. Yeah. So toxoplasmosis, which by the way, like 60% of our country, 3 out of 5 or something like that. It's some crazy number that people don't even realize. But to think about it, I'm going to give you guys the breakdown so you can really kind of comprehend what toxoplasmosis gondii really is. So mice have toxo and they cuddle up to a cat because the toxo has removed the fear from the brain of the mice. And the
Okay.
next stage of toxo is an enzyme in the cat's gut. So it gets eaten by the cat after it cuddled up, release
Mhm.
that fear. It also is sexually attracted to the cat's pee because for some reason the toxo damages the part of the brain that removes the ability to fear and also makes you promiscuous.
Oh,
And
damn.
so
Okay.
it goes into the cat, and then the cat poops it, and then all humans can get toxo through that way. But they specifically say don't scoop the cat's poop while you're pregnant because it is one of the few parasites that will cross over the uterine and go into the
Okay.
baby.
To the
So
baby.
Patricia Arquette has toxo, and so does her daughter. And she's a big toxo advocate.
Mm.
Then they also have done studies on cadavers of crotch rocket people that have died, and 100% of them came back with toxo because it removes the ability to feel fear because where it damages the brain is that part. And it also brainwashes you, it controls your mind. And so if you think about how controlling it was with the mouse to the cat to get eaten, and how controlling it is to not be fearful, it's a controlling thing. All parasites are controlling. Parasites are controlling, and mold is brainwashing.
Oh, shit. And we get all this in our bodies. You guys.
We have
Oh, Kim.
environmental toxins that
You're
Western medicine has ignored.
you're scaring us.
Just
Oh,
cleanse,
God. No.
man. It's so easy. Just cleanse. Like
No, it
really,
is because
really, it's
listen,
so
I
easy.
I I am a cat lady. I'm a cat
Totally.
lady.
I
I've
had
been
two
around
cats. We had
so many
five
cats.
animals,
Rescue
Jennifer.
I rescued them. I
Oh, yeah.
bottle fed them. Listen, I do the cats. So I'm thinking in my mind, I for sure probably have that. And you're
Um,
or no,
Not
no, maybe not.
necessarily. I had
Okay, good.
cats and I loved cats, and I did not I do not have toxo. I don't have toxo and I don't have a tapeworm. I'm very lucky. I had a lot of chronic illness and a lot of parasites, but those two are really hard to get rid of. Toxo will never go away. It goes into a remission. But you would know first off if you had toxo, and when it does to get triggered, you'll know. I mean, it is. And you can get an easy blood test. I mean, it's a pretty simple test.
Oh God, I think I might need it. Okay. No, just to clear my mind, just so I can sleep tonight, Kim. I'm gonna fucking test. We're taking the pear cleanse, you guys. That's it's been. Did like order it? You need to get this ordered up. Okay, the right stuff. Use my link. Don't use any crazy links you're going to find on link because I
Right.
know what you guys are going to do out there. You're going to say, I don't want to wait to get it that long, or week, like whatever it takes. I'm gonna go on Amazon. It's not on Amazon. I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell
we're
you
not
right
on
now.
Amazon.
You're
It's
not
not.
priming this, you guys, and it's fine. Why I know in our society we like to have things overnight, but
Yeah.
listen, they're out foraging this. This is real deal stuff, and you're going to want to get it from them. So, like I said, I'm on week 3. So there are die off symptoms. I tell you guys also be prepared to feel like shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just being honest.
Well,
All
there's
right.
something
But
dying in your body. So
yes.
yeah.
And the thing is, like, because of a lot of our health conditions, especially when you get to this middle age, like, yeah, we got stuff going on. So you might feel like shit now. So this is going to be worth it if you can come out the other side, is what I'm saying. All right. So be ready to feel like crap because there are die off symptoms. I'll tell you a couple of mine and then you can tell me the whole list of what everyone else is doing. I primarily have had, and it's gotten better since I'm towards the end, had a lot of headaches at the beginning, especially a little bit of nausea. I will say I expected to have like a bunch of diarrhea and that didn't really happen.
Hmm.
That's the first thing you think is going to happen because everybody will ask me, how do I time this? Am I going to need to buy a toilet all the time? And I'm like, no, like that wasn't my experience. I'm not saying that can't happen, but, and also halfway through, I got a lot of floaters in my eyes. Is that
Yeah.
weird? Is it? Okay. I got a lot of that. Now you had parasites coming out of your skin and your
Yeah.
pee. I have not had anything
Mhm.
come out of my skin that I know of. And I've not blown any out of my nose at this point that I've noticed. Okay.
It's a
But
different parasite. That's a different, there's like thousands. So yeah.
there's thousands. How do we know which ones we have? Just by looking at them when they come out, or
Well, I
do you
have a
send stuff
600
to get?
page ID book.
Oh, girl, I started looking through it. You guys, if you're into identifying, first of all, if you're squeamish about photos, these aren't for you.
No, those are the
They're not.
good ones.
No, but if you're one of those people who's like, no, I want to see, I want to look, I want to see. She's got 2 full PDFs free on her site, you guys. We'll put the link there. And you can look through and be like, yep, mine looked like that, or mine didn't look like that. So are there more die-off symptoms? What are some really common ones? Other than
Headache,
yeah,
flu-like symptoms coming out your skin. I had them come out my skin, and they come out your urine because your urine is just runoff from blood. I think people don't realize that, like, it's like I had big ones come out of my urine. I have a couple of pictures that are in there. I've never told anyone which ones are mine, but I've had a few come out of my urine. But
so
normally, no, they're not really super big. I had shishamycin come out, which were like big clumps and squares. So that was
okay.
uncomfortable because I had shishamycin, which coated my bladder, which is pretty normal. And that's from fresh water.
See, and I was
Shishamycin is.
expecting them to come out of my bladder because I have bladder issues. So it's
Oh, okay.
like, ooh, something's coming out. And maybe they haven't. They weren't the big ones that I would notice or whatever. I
Mhm.
don't know. I'm doing it. I'm just planning on it. Okay, so there are die-off symptoms. Are there things we can do to help with those? Do you have tips for helping out the die-off?
Yeah, you want to bind for sure. But my other suggestion is usually like castor oil and red light, um,
Okay.
like on the abdomen and on the neck, because your lymphatic system is right here, right? And like you're trying to move it faster. So I like to do castor oil and then set a red light.
All right. So you're rubbing the castor oil where? On
Mhm.
your neck?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And then you're putting the red light by your neck
Yeah.
where you put the castor oil. And
Hmm.
then are you slathering it along your belly and putting red light there or just
Yes.
wherever? Okay.
Yeah. I do
Okay.
those two things. Those have been the best for my die offs. And then also, I do a lot of vibration plate and sauna. And then
Okay.
I also walk every day. So a lot of movement, a lot of vibration. I do hyperbaric chamber oxygen therapy, but that's a whole nother modality that
Yeah.
um, smothers them.
Like you said, or exercising, whatever you want to, because that'll help sweat some of it out too,
Yes.
right? So we want to sweat it. Okay. So that's some of the die off symptoms. I'm assuming eating healthy, staying hydrated, that's all just like healthy stuff we're supposed to do
Normal.
anyway.
Mhm.
So that's the die off stuff. Now and I'm saying, how do we know it's working? How do we know it's working? I told you I asked my nephew, he said he could send pictures. And I still kind of didn't believe him at first when he said that. Then I got into the adventure myself, you guys. Oh no, they're there. You just, if you look, you just go to the bathroom and you look and you're like, hello, what the
Mhm.
hell is that floating around
Mhm.
in the water? Cause it looks like a worm. And my
Because
nephew
it
would
is.
ask me, he'd do check-ins and he'd say, wellness check. He'd text me and he'd say, are you getting adults? And I'm like, am I getting adults? Like, I'm getting grandparents. Like, I think some of these have fucking walkers. I'm way older than my nephew. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure they're more than adults. Holy shit.
Walkers.
I was like, these are senior citizens coming out, I think, because I think about it and I'm over 50. And so I start to think, holy shit, these guys been swimming around and breeding and living their best life inside me for a very long time. And then it reminds me of the movie Men in Black. And there's a scene in Men in Black where they go open they're in the locker room and they open the little locker and there's like a whole colony of beings living in there, like a bunch of alien species. And they live in the locker. They don't even realize that it's a locker. That's their world. And I thought, oh my God, I'm the Men in Black locker. There is a whole species living inside of me right now. And the thought of them living not just in my colon, but in my brain and in my organs and everywhere, it freaks me out. And so some people, if you're nervous about doing this parasite cleanse, you're like, nope, I can't do it. I can't have that come out of me. I say to you, okay, don't do it. Don't let them come out of you. Let them live in there. That's
Yeah.
fun. I would rather think of them dying and leaving than breeding and living inside of me and new babies and new generations just coming about. Oh God, no,
Oh
it
my
was a
god, they come
lot.
out with walkers.
No, they're old. I'm like, they're more than adults, for God's sakes. Like, these are grandparents.
Oh my god.
But they came out. I just want to tell everybody, and like, I'm not going to post my pictures or whatever, but know that they're coming out. Have I fully identified them from your book? No, not yet, but I have some ideas because I'm pretty sure they're all like flatwormy looking, long, flat. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of little groupings of a bunch of little ones. There's, I don't, like you said, square shaped shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
I think
know.
everyone thinks that like when they're born in like the skinny, but really they're born in a cluster and then they break off from that cluster and that's how they're able to reproduce. So it's like a cluster of worms. It's like look at your thumb and it's like
Yeah.
all of this tissue and then they start to form worms off the cluster. That's one way that they can do it.
And then they
And then
break free and then they
yes.
grow
Yeah, they can do that.
because they can
And
get as long as what?
59 feet is the video I just
Did
did
you
for a
say
tapeworm.
59 feet?
59
Feet.
feet. Yeah,
Did
I
that come out
just
on its
posted
own,
the
or do they have
video.
to go in and surgically get that thing out?
I
No,
mean, I have a couple of videos where they like are pulling him from behind and you have to
no,
get the
no,
head.
no,
If you
no,
don't
no.
get the head of a tapeworm, it just reproduces.
Okay. Let me ask this because some of them have the look of, so my friend, I said, I don't know, but some of them look like long sperms because they do look like they have a head at one end and then their little tails get real tiny.
Yeah, and that
What the
means
hell
it
are
could have
those?
come from that could be the larvae, that could be from an egg. It's not just one. We're all wanting to have it just be like one. There's thousands of
There's
styles.
thousands. And I guess I don't
Thousands.
need to know names for all of them. I just need them gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to know that I'm killing them all. But there's a lot going on. And I was like, wow. And I felt like I really started heavily seeing them by day 7. I want to say I started seeing them
Mhm.
maybe a little earlier than day 7. But really, when I hit around day 7, it was like, what the hell is that? You know, like one time I just sat down to pee. It's just a quick pee trip, you guys.
And it came
And
out.
I feel something blah blah. And I'm like, that was unexpected. What the hell was that? This was a quick pee, you guys. And I look in there and just a little sucker plopped out. He just plopped out all by himself. I didn't even I didn't even poop. It was
Yeah.
just plop. Here came my little worm friend who was gone. And it was so little expected moments like that, but nothing where I had to run to the bathroom. You guys, I don't want to scare everybody into like, oh God, do I have to take the month off work? No, like your life is going to be just fine. It's going to taste a little nasty. You might have some more headaches and die-offs. You're going to have symptoms you have to worry about. But then I'm excited to come out the other end
Mhm.
because maybe without all my friends wanting all this sugar, I can help out with the sugar,
Right.
including like you said, the candida, all that, because it is a heavy metal cleanse. And like you said, the candida,
Mhm.
it's covering all of it at the same time. So
You
I feel
wanna
like
feel
I'm
like
really,
trash all at once.
yeah. So plan on
Mhm.
feeling, like I said, you're going to feel shitty, you guys. I don't want to pretend this is no big deal at all. It's a journey. Like you got to
Yeah.
buckle in. You're killing off thousands of beings inside your own body. This is a
Mhm.
problem. This is just my testimony. This is real. I would not have called Kim. I would not have had her come on the show if I thought this was bogus. Okay. I wouldn't do that to you guys. And I have told many people about this. And I've been sending your link out to all kinds of people. And some of them already ordered and started themselves. So the bottom line is we got to do this because it's healing our bodies, but in a way, like you said, we're hearing it's mind, body, spirit. It's all of it
Yeah.
because they're a different frequency, like you said,
Yeah.
and
They're
they're
their
filling our
own.
body with a different frequency. So
Yes.
we're trying to raise our vibes. We're trying to get to a certain frequency and they're holding us down,
Yes, they
right?
are. Yes, they're
They're holding
holding
us
us down.
back from this whole spiritual journey.
Right.
And we wouldn't have thought it, but our health can do that. And these
It
are one.
can.
And these guys, like you said, they're smart. They have a
They
mind of their
are.
own. They can change our own feelings. Like
Mhm.
you said, if you're someone who has mental health issues, they might be making your mental health issues worse.
For sure.
For
Mine were.
sure.
Mine
Yeah.
were. Yeah, I had complex PTSD. Mine were. And when I walk around, I live downtown Seattle. I walk around, I know. I can see someone and be like, they have worms, and I know which worms they have. And
You
that,
too.
yeah.
What do I have? Look at me. Kim, what do I have?
Well, it's really hard to tell now because you've dewormed with
I've been
Parasite.
deworming. Now, I don't think they're all probably not dead yet. I feel like I should probably do 60 days with what I saw coming out,
Do
but
it.
I don't know.
Do it.
Should I
Just
take a
take a
break?
7-day break between your 30
Okay,
days.
so if we want to do more than 30, we
Mhm.
take a 7-day break and we can
Yeah.
get at it again.
Well, you definitely don't have a tapeworm.
Okay. Yeah.
So you probably
And
have some threadworms and for sure you have roundworm.
okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense, and that's a big one in our food, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And animals. Animals have roundworms. So if you were around
Yeah,
a lot of
that makes
animals or if
sense
you
then.
walked barefoot
That's what
outside,
happened, and I
yeah,
like to ground outside. I walk barefoot a lot.
you just wanna make sure
Yeah.
you don't walk barefoot in an area that you didn't, like, diatomaceous earth that area and that your dog didn't poop in that area or cats. Like, just keep a little square that is just yours. Protect it because that's where they come from is a lot of dirt.
Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna find a square of my own because there's a lot of wildlife. Does it matter about the wildlife? I
I
mean, we
mean,
have
toxos in as in, you got tapeworms that are in bears, and you got, like, deer that have toxo, and just
so
be
we have a lot of deer
conscientious.
around here. I got a million chipmunks and squirrels, raccoons, geese, and,
Girl,
deer.
do you walk around where they go to the bathroom?
I don't know where they go to the bathroom, probably. I just walk around my damn yard. I don't know where they're I mean, of course
Just
they
keep
do.
cleansing. Just keep
I'm
cleansing.
just gonna have to maybe I need a 365-day cleanse, and just stay on it, because that was my other question. All right, once
Yeah,
you're done with the cleanse, so we should do it, what, quarterly, twice a year, the minimum, or
3
something
to
like that?
4. Yeah,
3
4
to 4 times a year.
really seasonally is the smartest thing to do. Other
That's
countries that have been
smarter.
cleansing, it's twice a year, but they've been doing this since birth. We have not,
Okay.
so
And
we're
does the
real
second
behind.
or third time you cleanse, is it easier on you because you've gotten rid of a lot of the bigger adults, or no? Is it always gonna be the same?
Usually around the 4th one, you're better. The second one is the hardest. Your second cleanse is the hardest cleanse because you've gone
Oh,
in and disrupted them. You started to make your body inhospitable, and now they're like,
oh, they're
"F you,
pissed.
lady. Yeah, fuck you. I wanna know now." Like, yeah, they're pissed. Yeah, they're mad, but that's okay. That's okay. You've got the tools now, right? You're gonna take Sustain 3 times a day. You're gonna make sure you bind. You do the fulvic, include Recover and Immune. Those are like 2 other tinctures that I have that I developed for hair, nails, skin, to boost your immune system, break down more mucus, so it makes for a lot
Okay,
better
so I may
cleanse.
need so with the second one, I probably need to add in, like, the fulvic soak, like, all the other stuff you have,
Yeah,
just to
Recover and
help with all that.
Immune. Mhm, and Red
Okay.
Artist. So I created more assistance than just a parasite cleanse. The support is the most important when you're cleansing.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm done with the cleanse. Is there
Mhm.
until we start the next cleanse, say I'm only gonna do it 3 times a year. So before I do the next one, is there a maintenance herb just to help so they don't come back as strong, or, like, a
Sustain.
maintenance
You can take
or
Sustain every
sustain?
day.
Okay.
Yeah, and then anytime you eat questionably, like before you eat seafood or if you don't like to cook your pork or your beef, you can take Parafite Kit prior, and that'll keep it being inhospitable in your body. So kinda like how people use pumpkin seeds, specifically, they did that because it's an antiparasitic. When it gets into your stomach,
Mm.
it ruffles around and, like, keeps them from trying to attach.
I've heard the bromine and pineapple and different stuff kills them too, is that
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So pineapple is a friend when it comes to
Mhm.
that. But you're saying if I'm going to go out to dinner and I know I'm going to have sushi and I'm going to have some oysters, I'm going to have a medium rare steak, I don't know, whatever you guys eat out there, take a you're saying take the purified tincture. Just
Mhm.
take like a dropper full
Yeah.
before you eat, because then if there are parasites in the food, it's not hospitable for them to make it their home.
Right.
They may just clear out. Like,
Mhm. They're not
okay.
gonna wanna stick around because 'cause
They're
they're
not
like,
going to want
"Oh,
to
this
stick
area is
around.
not fun, not my terrain."
Because what is it in sustain that helps in between?
Oregon grapefruit and usnea, it helps keep them from dropping viruses and making you sicker.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's in between, and then we're gonna do another parasite cleanse as often as we need to, because this
Mhm.
isn't a one and done problem solved,
Right.
because we're gonna eat, we're gonna walk around, I'm gonna walk around barefoot outside anyway, and I'm gonna probably drink contaminated water from someone's house at some point. You know what I mean? Like, it's just life.
Totally.
And
It's
we
just
live in
life.
the
We're
US.
lifing, but now we
Everywhere. We're
know.
lifing. We just have
Mhm.
to add these things in so we're not lifing for a bunch of parasites
Right.
in our body, because they want to live. Those are fighters in
They're
there.
fighters.
They aren't going down without a fight, and that's why you start to feel sick. And then after, when we come out the other side, what are some of the benefits you're seeing with people? Are you seeing better control of, like, blood sugars,
Mhm.
cholesterols?
Mental health, skin, IBS. People are going to the bathroom regularly. I feel like the skin is a big one because you can like visibly see that. They've got more energy. Your brain fog is less. The
Insomnia
floaters
probably
are
goes
less.
away.
Yeah, insomnia, man. I sleep now. Like if I don't get 8 hours of sleep, I don't do well. And I've never been like that until the last few years.
Okay, so now you
Yeah.
can sleep. Do you use anything
Yep.
for sleep? Do you use the shrooms when you go to bed or no?
Nope. I lay down and I'll actually look at my husband and go, I'll see you in a few minutes because I just go to sleep and I wake
You're
right up and
out. Oh, you
yeah.
lucky duck. Oh,
Here I am now, 30 employees, 10,000 square feet manufacturing facility. We're third party tested. We've sold over 150,000 kits. We ship worldwide, ages 3 and up. We're all natural. We've tested negative for microbes, pesticides, and heavy metals. So we are ethically sourced as well as foraged our own herbs.
I love
And
it. Because is it a lot of it grown right there on your property?
no, we
No.
found some, yeah. I mean, at one point we had foraged them on our own property, but now, we send out thousands of kits a month. So there was like, that wasn't sustainable for me and my husband. But at the beginning, there was a lot of herbs that we actually foraged ourselves. So if you have an OG kit, we definitely did that. And
And just so you guys know, you're gonna when you go on there, this is not crazy expensive. She has
no,
made this very attainable. You could probably charge much more for these kits. But listen, no, you want to get this out there to everyone. This is part of your
yeah,
mission to help get
mhm.
people healthy and learn about it and do this. You're not looking to buy a private jet off this whole gig.
No,
All right. No.
I don't want to buy a private jet, but I do have to live,
Oh, you
and
have to,
we
no,
have
you need to make
employees.
money. Hell
So we
yeah.
have to make some money, but $100 is what we charge for a
It's
Parasite kit.
$100 for the kit, you
Mhm,
guys, that gets you the 3 tinctures and the Cinna whatever,
mhm.
tablet. I forgot that it's Cinny something, but
Cinnabon,
I
like
Cinnabon, guys.
Cinnabon, like
Yeah,
the cinnamon
I
company,
know,
yeah,
that's why I
Cinnabon.
think I thought I was gonna open it and have a piece of candy at bedtime. No, it's not. That was disappointing, Kim, but I was like, "I'm gonna have to get my cinnamon
Agreed.
candy somewhere else," and hence the sugar cravings. So it's like, well, okay, that makes sense that it's not, just candy, but okay, so you get all 4 of them
Mhm.
for the $100. And
Yep,
then if you just want, like you said, like if you just want to do the sustain in the middle, you can order that by itself.
right.
Like it's $35, something like that, to keep you going in the middle. And that's for a 30-day supply.
Well, we have a support kit. It's called support kit and it's
Oh,
sustain, immune, and recover. And that's what I recommend doing when you do the Parasite kit because it is so supportive.
okay. And that's going to help us in between
Yeah, it can
all
also
that.
help in between. And then May 15th, we're launching a lymphatic kit to help get your lymph
Ooh,
moving.
ooh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I'm also interested, I may try and can you do the mold cleanse at the same time as a parasite cleanse, or should we do that totally separate?
You can do all of the tinctures in there except for moldies. The tinctures that are in moldies are immune and recover. So you can do
Okay.
those with the Parafy kit, but the two main tinctures, Parafy and moldies, you can't do together. You can, but it's very intense.
Oh, sounds too much. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Let's not do that. Okay. So, because I was thinking about doing that mold business too. Let's just get everything out of these bodies and start from scratch.
Parasites first. They hold spores. So you do 2 to 3 Parafy cleanses before you do the mold
All
cleanse.
right. So I'm going to hold up on the mold till I've done this two or
Yeah,
three times.
because I had mold poisoning. That's where the moldies kit came in. So after I did all my parasite cleansing, I found out a year later that I was like basically dying. So was my husband from Aspergillus niger poisoning. In our travel trailer that we lived in while we were building, we had a leak, and the whole trailer was completely encased in mold, and we didn't
How
even
do you
know
get
it.
tested for mold? What do
So
you do to get?
well, you can do an air test in your house. Gotmold.com is the air test, but you can
Okay.
also go and get your blood tested. And if you know kind of an idea of what you're wanting, you can tell your practitioner. So we looked at Aspergillus niger and clado, which clado is a green mold that is
Okay.
huge here in the Pacific Northwest.
And it's a
So
blood test?
yeah, it's a blood
Yeah.
test.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's very easy to test for mold. You just have to know. And I have 11 molds in my body. I also have 20 bands of Lyme and I have
Mhm.
Babesia. So just finding out that I had parasites and doing this cleanse helped me actually uncover the root causes. I have encephalitis from strep and Epstein-Barr virus in my brain. And so
Mhm.
I'm able to use all of the modalities and the herbs in order to like be symptom free. None of this is a cure. It's all to like reduce or minimize your symptoms.
Right. That's why none of the things we're talking about are one and dones. This
Right.
is a journey. This is something you're to add
Mhm.
into your lifestyle, right?
Right.
Along with your food
Mhm.
choices, along with the exercise, everything we're doing. This is something we're adding in as a tool to be
Right.
healthy. This isn't like a cure all. Yeah. You're not going
Mhm.
to order one Parafy kit and be done for the life.
Yeah.
No, we got to keep going on it.
You
Yeah.
and it but it's so easy. Like, that's why I did it so easy. It's just 3
Yeah, you just
tinctures
have to
and a binder.
remember it. And honestly, even if there's some days where you forget to do all 4 doses,
It's
it's still
okay.
working, right?
Totally.
I mean,
The
you're
herbs are
fine.
in
Just
you.
get back at it the next day. Don't beat yourself
Mhm.
up. Just do it better the next day. But as
Yeah,
long as really you're getting that Parafy in there, you're killing some stuff. And if
exactly.
you're forgetting some of the others, you're just gonna have worse symptoms, it sounds like, too. Like,
Yeah, I mean, heavy metals, you're releasing that, but still, like, you're still getting the herbs in your system. They're still in there working.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna stick with it. Good. All right. So and she has a lot of resources. Like I said, she has the PDF books. So basically, because if they go to your website, they can go to the link that shows all of
Mhm.
your free little ebooks and stuff. You
Mhm.
just add those to the cart, you guys. You check out. You don't have to pay or anything. They're free.
Right.
You're just going to check out and then you're going to download them right then and start looking at them. And so those will give you a lot more information. And if you're just someone who wants to like check out pictures, and the pictures will probably freak you out enough to order Parafy. So if you haven't ordered yet, you will after you see these pictures, because these are real people's pictures. Am I
Yeah.
right?
Mostly cleansers, mostly my cleansers, and they've all been sent to me, and I have enough to make like 4 books. I just don't have the time.
No, because some people, you can see you've screenshot the text they've sent with it on some of them.
Mhm. Yeah.
It'll say like, what is this? I can't believe this came out of my. I mean, people have gotten extreme enough to like, they'll put a penny or something next to it so you can see how big it is. This is no, this is a
This is a
little,
thing.
this is
It's a
underground
thing.
movement. This is a movement. You guys,
Yeah.
we got to get on board.
Yeah.
I'm on board, and I've told my husband every day, because you just said who we live with. And I keep telling him, you're going to have to, I'm getting you a kit. You got to do this parasite cleanse. And he'll be like, oh, we'll see. And I was like, no, listen, after you hear my interview with Kim, you're doing this because
Mhm.
we live together. We got to get rid of these. And now I have to go online when we get off, and I got to order something for all my pets. I got to figure out how to supply parsley water around this house. I don't know what to do about everything living outside. I guess I'm
Be
just going to have to keep
proactive.
in the
Yeah.
cleanses if I'm going to walk around, because I don't
That's it.
think I have a square area where nothing's pooping. Not with all the wild animals in my yard. No, I feed them, Kim. They're not going anywhere. Oh God, no, listen. Mm-mm. So we got to do the cleanse. I love this because initially I just needed the worm queen here. She got dubbed the
Yeah.
worm queen when she went viral, you guys. So initially I just wanted the old worm queen to educate you guys for our wellness episode, to tell us all about, to make us healthier. And then I realized that she has this whole spiritual journey with a Kundalini awakening. I was like, could there be a better guest? No, there can't be. We need her now. Yeah. And so I'm excited. So you guys are going to start following her and researching her, and you're going to be obsessed with hearing all things parasites, whether it freaks you out or not. Get on board, because it should freak you out more that they're alive inside you right now. I don't care who you are listening. They are feeding off your ass right now. Okay. You eat dinner, they eat dinner. That's how this thing works. We got to get rid of them. And I'm not hating on the parasites even. They're just trying to live like the rest of us, right?
Yeah.
They're in
They're
survival
doing their
mode.
job. Well, that's the thing. They're doing their job. Like, they're decomposers. So they're really doing what they're supposed. There's something in you that they're trying to break down. That's where the terrain theory is, that they're trying to break things down. But like, then they get out of control, and you got to bitch slap them and be like, no, like, this is my body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Time to go. Like, I know you love sugar as much as I do, but it's time to go, because Jen needs to stop with the sugar too. We all are heading to rehab together. And so I'm getting rid of them. Like, they're done. They're flushed. And just for clarification, you guys, when they come out of our bodies, are they dead?
Most of the time.
Oh God. Okay. Mine have all I've had no movement, for the record.
Okay. Nice. I'm really glad for you.
Oh shit, I'm not done yet. I got more days. And it sounds like round number 2. Maybe I'll get more. But, all right. So don't freak out if you do take a peek-see in the toilet.
Yeah.
Something might move. Just flush it and be done.
Just
Just flush
Yep,
everybody.
there's 3 types of cleansers. There's lookers, flushers, and diggers.
Oh God, there's diggers. All right.
There's
I think I'm a
diggers.
looker.
And then a
I,
flusher.
I I'm a looker and then a flusher.
Mhm.
I might even take a photo and zoom in on my photo, but I'm not digging. There's no
No,
digging
there
going
are a
on in
lot
this
of diggers.
household.
They're where the pictures come from. We love the diggers because then
No,
I
I
have
can tell there's
content.
diggers because those
Yeah.
diggers pull it out of the water to give you a really good view, everybody.
Yeah,
No, there's
totally.
we need the diggers. We need the
We
diggers
need
so
the
we can
diggers.
so we can see them and identify them in your book, but I'm not a digger. I am a looker. But even if you're not a looker, if you're just a flusher, this will benefit you because you're just get rid of them. You don't even have to
Yeah.
look. Just know it's working. Now, if you blow your nose and they come out, I don't know what to tell you. Just throw it away. Throw it away. And when you say they come out of your skin,
Yeah.
what are you saying? Is it scabby? Do you see them poke out and come out of your skin? What are you saying when they're coming out of your skin? Because it sounds scary.
D, all of the above.
All of the above. Okay. So I haven't had anything come out of my skin, but my skin wasn't my main issue when I started the parasite cleanse. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've not seen anything come out of my skin anywhere. I mean, maybe round 2. I don't know. Do some hang on more than others? Probably.
I
I don't
just got
know.
off a podcast where she said that they were coming out of her moles.
Her
Like
moles.
her moles. She doesn't have any moles anymore on her back. Her doctor went in and was pulling them out.
From the mole. And then the mole
Yeah.
came off?
Yeah, mine came out of my neck. Like I had a dream about it, woke up and it came out of my neck. And I was like, this is wild. Thank God for TikTok at the time because I had no one to talk with. My husband was in his own world. And I was like, how is this possible? We don't have worms. But now,
So
I
they
mean,
come out of
anywhere, it doesn't matter. I had them swim out of my feet with fulvic. What?
because they're looking for an escape route. Is that what they're
Yes.
doing? They don't
Yes.
realize they're just going to die outside our body. They're just trying to get away
They're
from
just,
the
yeah.
environment that we've caused.
Mhm.
And if you guys are out there, one more thing, if you guys are out there thinking, no, it doesn't matter if my steak's cooked all the way. It doesn't matter if oysters, my stomach acid will kill them.
No, they
Oh.
like acidic areas.
Yeah, they love the
That's
acid.
why they
you
live
guys.
there. Live there as well. I
Yeah,
mean, they
you're not
like
killing
the
anything in
acidity.
your stomach.
Nothing.
No,
I
you have
mean,
to have
no.
fully cooked before it gets into your body. You got to
Yeah.
kill them before they get in, or
Yeah.
they're just going to thrive in there. You're
Right.
not. So your stomach acid, if you've been under the notion, because I was for a long time, like, our stomach acid kills everything, doesn't it? It's fine.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't. They love it. They love your stomach. They land in your stomach when you eat them,
Mhm.
and then they just head out to wherever they want to start their family
Yep.
in your body. Some are
Yep.
what? In your appendix, your brain, your organs, your
Mhm.
tissues.
Mhm.
I have seen pictures on there where you can see them underneath the skin. Is
Mhm.
this like a ringworm when people get ringworm? Is that like
No,
a version?
ringworm is a fungus.
That's fungus.
It is.
All right, that's not even a real worm.
It is considered a parasite because it eats off of you, but it's
But
a
it's not
fungus.
actually a worm. It's a fungal infection. So
Right.
that's different.
Yeah.
So that's not what's coming out of our skin. These are
No, they're actually threadworm, pinworms, roundworm,
that come
flatworm.
out from your skin.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So buckle in, you guys. There's some things that might go down, but just be a flusher, throw it away, take a shower. Don't worry about what's coming out of your skin, I guess. And the bottom line is when we come out the other side, we're going to be healthier, mentally, physically, and spiritually happier because it'll just be us again. We're not
Yes.
part of a community. It's not group thought anymore. It's just our thoughts once we get there. All right. So I feel like I'm going to get rid of all of them. And then now that my mind's just my own, and then I'm going to do my shrooms. Yeah, you guys, we got a lot going on with this part of the spiritual journey. So I'm going to make my whole family do it. If you're going to be around me, you need to be parasite free. That's what I'm thinking.
Totally.
And you said 3 years and up. So this is safe for kids.
Yeah, we're one of the only ones, and we have nut-free options.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
So if you have a nut allergy, you're still good there too.
Mhm. Yep.
There's enough. Okay. So you guys covered it all. You know what you're
We did.
doing.
I've been doing this for years.
You've been doing this for years. And
Yeah.
I love that it came from personal experience because you
Yeah.
know that you're not just trying to hop on to make money. This has changed your life already and a lot of other people. And it's helped your co-host on your new podcast. You guys got to check that out. She's going to be talking all things worms and
Mold,
what all
Lyme.
you guys talking on mold, Lyme, just all of that.
Yeah, what's eating you? So anything that could
What's
be eating
eating you?
you.
Yep, I'm gonna put that.
That's
Oh God. All right, I'm gonna put that in the link. That's gonna be good. All right, you guys. Well, listen, I don't know. I feel like by now you should be convinced to order Parify kit because it really is the best one. And that's doesn't come from me, but a lot of people I know too, like my nephew, researches all this stuff heavily, right? Because
yeah.
he's been trying to solve some physical ailments himself for a long time. He's the one who recommended it to me originally. And I've been recommending it, and it's a movement. We're doing this. Okay, you
Yep.
guys. Well, this has been great. We're going to, no, I mean, listen, I have 10,000 questions for Kim, but we all have lives. And so we got to get going on stuff. And you guys can't listen all day long, but putting all the links down there for you guys. So click on there, get your Parify, use the coupon code so you can get a discount, get started on this, get some for you, get some, do your whole family at the same time and your pets. Well, not with Parify, but we're going to order the stuff we need for our pets and we're going to get rid of all this. That's my mission today. When we get off, I'm going to be treating these pets real soon. Yeah. I can't be the only parasite free bitch in this house. Like we all are. No, we're getting on board, and there's going to be no more senior citizens coming out of me. Only the babies, only the newborns now. Okay, well, thank you so much, Kim. This has been really good. I've learned a lot, and I'd already researched it. I can only imagine what you guys listening, how big your eyes are right now, and how like disgusted you are right now at the thought of these parasites in your body. And you should be, as you should be. Get on there and order this. We got to get rid of them. This is insanity, and I would have never thought it until now. I mean, who knew? You know, half of you listening out there had no idea this was going down out there. Okay, well now when we know better, we do better. And now we know about the parasites. So it's time to get rid of them. Yep, we got to get rid of them. And then we're all going to be healthy together. I love it. All right. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate it. Listen, I know your time is valuable. And right now I'm feeling super grateful and totally humbled that you chose to hang out with me today. If this podcast resonates with you, could you do me a solid and hit that subscribe or follow button? That's going to help you out because you're never going to miss an episode. And it helps me out because you're never going to miss an episode. And if you have like 30 seconds more, could you leave a 5-star rating and maybe leave a kick-ass review? Thank you so much, and I can't wait to continue our journey on the next episode. Oh, and I can't forget the fine print. You know, the legal jargon. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. We're just two friends on this journey together, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or any other qualified professional. You get it. See you next time.